I'm Brilyn, Hollyhand, editor-in-chief of the Truth Gazette, here today in the United States Capitol, sitting down exclusively with House Minority Leader Mr. Kevin McCarthy. Congressman McCarthy, thank you so much for taking the time of your busy day to sit down with us.
Well, thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I know it's been a crazy busy day with the impeachment announcement this morning and the USMCA deal, so we just appreciate you taking the time of your day.
Well, it's a busy day, but it's good for the country to know what's happening here. So I'm excited about you coming in and asking a few questions.
Well, absolutely. We'll just go ahead and get started. Mr. Leader, as the grandson of a cattle rancher and the son of a firefighter, what lessons did you learn growing up that have helped you in your position of power today?
Well, the lessons I learned most that my father and my mother had instilled in me was the lesson of hard work. Mm-hmm. And my father always had these interesting sayings. Like he'd always say, any job, big or small, do it right or not at all. And I think your constituents expect that. They expect you to work hard, they expect you to be honest, and to stay at it. And pretty much that's what we try to do here.
Absolutely. Every day you serve, you have to fight back against fake news media. What do you think we as Americans can do together to fight back against fake news mainstream media?
Well, the first thing, don't take anything just for granted if you hear it. I mean, especially you got from the internet and others, take the time to learn. Mm-hmm. Lots of times we'll have a bill on the floor that has a beautiful name, but it does nothing what it says. Mm-hmm. When you read the bill, you'd say, oh my gosh, I wouldn't vote for that. So don't take anything just for granted. Actually do the work to understand what's going on and understand really what is the truth behind it. So a little hard work will go a long ways.
Let's go ahead and get to the main topic at hand, and that is this morning Speaker Pelosi making the announcement of the 2 articles of impeachment going to the House floor against the president. As House Minority Leader, what is your response to that?
Well, when I noticed that they did 2 articles of impeachment, it was the weakest, and it was different than the article they were making the whole time. They're saying there was a quid pro quo, then they turned to bribery. And now they're going about abuse. Mm-hmm. What's interesting, if you listen to some of the hearings, like we had this one constitutional scholar, Jonathan Turley. He's not a Republican, he's a Democrat. And he's probably one of the most respected constitutional scholars in the country. He said he didn't even vote for the president. But he said if they move forward on abuse, it was the weakest of all arguments. And it really is abuse of the Democrats to move forward on it, because any American has the right to go to the courts when they're asked a question. And we're talking about Article 1, Article 2, and Article 3. And deny the president a right that every American has, that's a very weak argument. And I personally, when I saw what they moved forward on, I was a little embarrassed of all this that they've been pushing on. This is what they're moving forward on, because I think the bipartisan vote will be based upon these 2 articles will be no.
Absolutely. And well, speaking of Speaker Pelosi, she had a little outburst last week when a reporter asked the simple question of whether or not she hated the president. What do you think of that little outburst?
Well, it looked emotional, but the one thing I would say, I don't know where the speaker feels about the president. I do know one thing. She seems to love to impeach him. Because she spent her whole majority on doing just that. And that's the sad part. You know, we were warned by our forefathers and our founders that Alexander Hamilton said he was fearful of impeachment, that someone would use it for political gain and not for the real reason why it's instilled. And I really think this is the moment in time that Alexander Hamilton warned us about.
And you brought up Speaker Pelosi's majority in Congress right now. What hope do you have that Republicans can regain control of majority in 2020?
I think Republicans are going to regain majority. It's only 19 seats Republicans need to win. That's fewer than the number of seats that Speaker Pelosi had to win 2 years ago. What's interesting, though, is there's 31 Democrats who sit in seats that President Trump carried. Mm-hmm. I think impeachment's going to matter in those seats. And I think if they move forward, they have to run on an agenda. They have to run on accomplishments. And when you look at what they accomplished, they've issued more subpoenas than they've created laws. There's so much time that was wasted on just investigations. And I think the public is going to sit back and say, you promised us something different, and I might want to try something different.
Definitely. The Democratic Party has been flaunting around what I call a failed field of Democrats, and I believe you would say the same. What is your prediction of the outcome of the 2020 elections?
I think the president's going to get reelected because we're living in the strongest economy we've ever been in. Today, the speaker finally relented and announced that she'll let USMCA come up, the United States, Mexico, and Canada agreement. That's just one more promise the president made that he's keeping, that he was able to renegotiate NAFTA to make America stronger. We got so many successes, rebuilding the military.
Definitely.
It's all these things that he promised we would do better. And one thing that, you're still young, but you are living in the best economy America's had in the last 50 years. The opportunities for you are greater based upon what President Trump has been able to accomplish.
Absolutely. And speaking of 2020, currently the House is controlled by a Democratic majority. You just kind of discussed how you thought that we could regain that majority, or majority of Republicans. But what do you see across the field in America? What do you just kind of see that could change from the 2020?
Well, I'm hoping it changes this divide that we have. That it never gave the president an opportunity to have a honeymoon. They just started investigating him from day one. Think about how much we could accomplish if we worked together. Prescription drug prices would be lower, infrastructure bill would be going through. If we put parties aside and put people's first, right? If you put people before politics, I truly believe the next century is America's century.
Definitely.
And we've been able to prove that time and again. Winston Churchill always said you could always count on Americans to do what's right after they exhausted every other option. I think we're there. We're about to do things right.
Well, as we finish up today, I just want to take a moment and thank you for standing up for conservatives across the nation and in the House, and just being such a strong vocal supporter of this president. That's all the time we have left. Congressman Kevin McCarthy, thank you so much.
Thank you.